CNT's next Trivia Tuesday will take place on Wednesday, December 27th at 7 p.m. Enjoy a virtual trivia via Zoom from your computer for CNT members and not yet members alike. RSVP on our website or calendar. Our adult B'nai Mitzvah class will begin Tuesday, January 9th, and will be taught by Mora Pamela Henderson and Cantor Jessica Hutchings. There will be hybrid classes that will meet on Tuesday evenings from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. If you're interested, please contact Roberta at CNT's offices for more information. CNT's Film Havurah will present a private screening of musical fantasy film Wonka at CNT on Tuesday, January 9th at 6 p.m. It's the origin story of the famed Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. You can RSVP on our website and our calendar. Start making plans and save the date. CNT's Beatles Shabbat will be Friday, January 12th at 6:15 p.m. This is one of our most beloved services, and we expect a big crowd for the annual Shabbat and hope you'll get in the spirit and wear some groovy tie-dye and paisley threads. Again, that'll be Friday, January 12th. And lastly, drop-off diapers at Cantor EC for Israel, Jewish Nevada, and the Israeli American Council are partnering with Baby's Bounty to provide diapers to young families in Israel who have been directly affected by the attacks and ongoing war in Israel. That's all for this evening. We will look forward to services. Again, good Shabbos.
All right, good Shabbos, everyone. So, listen, Shannon said she did the announcements, and we believe her, don't we?
Yeah.
All right. So, let's see how good a listeners you were. Let's see, announcements. When is Trivia Tuesday?
Wednesday.
Very good. What happens if you want to be an adult bar mitzvah? Is that possible?
Yes.
Why? How? What? What do you get to do? What? There's a class and it starts in January. Haven't you always wanted to have a bar mitzvah? All right, come on now. What about the CNT Film Havurah? Where are they going? Mission Impossible. What else would they be going? Wonka or Little Mermaid? Which one are they going to? Very good. I think they were listening. You did a good job. They were really listening.
There was a really important one, too.
Oh, yeah. You mean the middle of July? No, January.
Middle of July.
Middle of July.
You want to go on vacation, too.
That's right. No, the middle of January, from January 1st through the entire year, we begin the 50th year of this synagogue. Is that amazing? So you're going to see a lot of things that are branded under the 50th year. So 50 years ago, I think that was the official mark of the breakup of one iconic band, which was the Beatles. Yeah. So what do we have for that?
Beatles Shabbat.
Aha, rebranded
Our
for the 50th.
11th Beatles Shabbat together.
You are together longer than the Beatles.
What? No, that can't be right.
How long were the Beatles together? Alan? You don't know? You don't know? Okay, I don't know. That's true. I should have paid attention. Anyways, everybody put it on your calendars. You got to come to Beatles Shabbat. It's a lot of fun.
January 12th.
January 12th. Be there or, wait for for Led Zeppelin Shabbat or something. Okay. All right, we got to take it away. What do we have for an opening song?
We should be excited and thankful to be here tonight with one another. We say, Hine Matov, how good it is to be together. We are honored to call to the Bima tonight Rachel Savage and Beth Molaski. Rachel is coming up, and her mom. Are you coming too? Or just Rachel? Okay. In honor of Kaden becoming a bar mitzvah this Shabbat, and Beth is joining us in honor of being in town. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Page 125. Where has this week vanished? Is it lost forever? Will I ever recover anything from it? The joy of life, the unexpected victory, the realized hope, the task accomplished. Will I ever be able to banish the memory of pain, the sting of defeat, the heaviness of boredom? On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away. On this day, let me be free of the burdens that must return. On this day, Shabbat, abide. Together, help me to withdraw for a while from the flight of time, contain the retreat of the hours and days from the grasp of frantic life. Let me learn to pause, if only for this day. Let me find peace on this day. Let me enter into a quiet world this day. On this Shabbat. We continue singing Shalom Aleichem, page 142. 42.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Baruchoni l'shalom malachei hashalom malachei elyon. Mi melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Tzeitzchem l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu.
We rise for the Baruch Hu 146.
Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars, creator of the tide and time of light. You guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans into infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows.
Baruch atah Adonai, Hamari v'Ravi.
As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah to me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into mystery.
Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malechuto Le'olam Vayed. Israel. Adonai is our God. Adonai is one. Blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever. Please be seated. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננת לבניך ודיברת בם בשיתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך ושרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך ובטחתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים אלוהיהם. אני אדוני אלוהיהם אשר הוצאתיכם מארץ מצרים להיות להם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיהם, אדוני אלוהיהם אמת. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I commend you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work. Whether you're tired or you're rested, let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai your God. I led you out of our Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai your God. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe in what we are taught before we ever stood at Sinai's foot.
That wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness.
That there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together.
ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם משה ומרים ובני ישראל לחנו שירה בשמחה רבה ואמרו כולם.
And we are continuing in our tradition that has started since October 7th, which is to recite Michamocha, our prayer for miracles, for freedom, to the melody of Hatikva.
(161). Give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch.
We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. We rise for our Amidah prayers, page 164.
Titoch ufi agita ilateha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu ve'Imotenu Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rahel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, Ve'konei Hakol. Vezoher haste avot v'imaot umevi geula livnei v'neihem leman shemo be'ahava melech ozer umoshia umagen Baruch atah Adonai Megain Abraham Ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mehaye hakol atarav leoshia. Shiva ruach umorid hagashem. Mehakel hayim behesed. Mehaye hakol berachamim rabim. Somech noflim verofeh holim. Umatzmir asherim. Umehaye emunato lishay ne'afa. Mihamachapa giverot umidolela. Melech v'imit umehaye umatzmir Yeshua. V'ne'emar nata v'vayayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai Mehaye hakol.
אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהלוך סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. We continue in our own private prayers through page 181. When you have completed your prayers on the right or the left side of the page or the words within your heart, please be seated.
If you are watching in the web stream and have a name for a Mishaberach, please submit it into the chat so that, it's not chat, is it?
Is it chat?
Is it chat? Yeah. Good. I'll get it right one of these days. No, I didn't say Zoom. Ay, ay, ay. Well, anyways, if you're watching, please share the name. So we take a moment for a prayer of hope and healing. We think of those in our circle of family and friends who are in need of our prayers. Sometimes it's our body that needs healing, sometimes our heart, our mind. Sometimes it's a struggle with addiction. Whatever the struggle is, the Mishaberach is a prayer that asks that God be with us in our journey to remind us that we are not alone at a time of great loneliness and that God can give us that strength and that we who care, we share in God's love and we share it with those we love. So I think of those whose names were submitted: Katie Fredrizi, Judah Berlin Tomorrow, Jeremy Filer, Evan Harpold, Nora Gabriella, Mindy Backrack, Stephen Grau, Shoshana Ham, Lori Fletcher, Kim Botwin, Donna Zale. Of course, we think of our friends and family in Medinat Yisrael, in the land of Israel. I always think of my sisters Dina and Audrey. And now I look to you to share the names of your loved ones.
Third time's a charm. Judah Gray, Allison Stam, Jim Lee. We invite you to rise if you would like to. Put your arm around the person next to you as we all pray for healing for anyone in need.
Well, good Shabbos again, everyone. Hanukkah. All right, it's over. But, you know, you watch those flames as they go down, and so you got to excuse me if we're going to get a little bit more of Hanukkah tonight. Because Hanukkah is considered this minor holiday. And, you know, we have a little miracle there, and we light the candles. Then it got big, right, because we started getting the presents. And so, of course, we look forward to it. And you ask a kid, what's your favorite holiday? And they'll say, Hanukkah, of course. But this year, as I've mentioned in other Sabbaths, it's the message of Hanukkah that we need to endure. Because this year is a different time in which we're observing Hanukkah. There have been dark periods in Jewish history, and when those have occurred, the light that Hanukkah brings and the metaphor of light and darkness takes on a whole new meaning, just as it does this year. So what is that message of Hanukkah? It's not just about the miracle of the light, and it stayed lit for 8 nights. And the sum total of miracles doesn't kind of match up with the parting of the Red Sea. Doesn't match up with other miracles that we have in our faith tradition. But the fact that we are still lighting those candles for 2,000 years, now that's a miracle. Can you think of any ritual in your family that you maybe are going to teach your son or daughter or grandkids, and think that 2,000 years from the moment that you started this ritual, it's still going to be going? Be hard-pressed. And in fact, the rabbis didn't really care that much about Hanukkah because it had to do with war and violence, and they were living in a time of oppression, and they didn't want their oppressors to get the wrong idea that maybe they would rise up and fight against them. So they said, nah, we don't want this holiday. But the people did, because for too long our people did live in darkness. For too long our people did live in fear. For too long our people was viewed as the other. And so the message of Hanukkah and lighting those lights, as simple as that act was, it would be an act of defiance. And it would also be an act that would say, I'm not afraid to be a Jew. Because the mitzvah of Hanukkah is pirsum mitzvah, to publish or to promote the mitzvah. And that's why you would put it in your window seals. Because you want everyone to know that you were proud to be Jewish. Then October 7th happened. And the Jewish world has changed in a lot of ways. And before I kind of narrow in on it, one of the things that has happened has been this severe increase in anti-Semitism, right? We feel it, we're afraid for it, and yet that's probably why these Hanukkah candles are more important than ever. Because there are people who have hidden their Jewish stars. There are people who didn't put out their Hanukkah display outside. There are people who took down their mezuzahs because they were afraid. And Hanukkah says, don't be afraid. And I guess you have to balance that out between your comfort level and your faith in Jewish tradition, and that somehow we're all going to be okay. But the fact that we're even having that discussion means that things have changed. Because last year and the year before and the year before that, we had Hanukkah and we didn't talk about all this anti-Semitism. But we are this year. October 7th, on that Simchas Torah, this joy of us dancing with our Torah and celebrating our tradition, was just about 50 years from the Yom Kippur War, which is also why it was picked as a day that will live in infamy in Israel. They sought to destroy our tradition. They sought to destroy the land of Israel that we love so much. They sought to do so much damage, and in that, unfortunately, they were successful. But there is also something that happened in Israel, and I'm not just talking about now the war in Gaza. We can put that over here for just a moment. It's akin to what happened after 9/11 in the United States, in which I gave a sermon that we are all Israelis. Because when we got attacked in our country and we experienced this devastation of life like this, and it was all broadcast in the media and we could see it in all its ugly detail, we understood what it was like to be attacked. But Israel had gone a bit complacent in the sense that they knew they were surrounded and lived in a bad neighborhood, but there was this feeling of invincibility that the IDF would always be there to protect them, and because that's not what happened, Israel had to rethink things in a big way. And by the way, it's going to be going on for quite some time, not just now, not just the day after this war. There's going to be a reckoning in Israel, and it's going to change that country forever. But for this moment, on October 8th, the day after, it was vastly different than the country I visited in February. The country that I visited in February this year, I was with 100,000 Israelis protesting the judicial reform. Remember that? It seems like it was so long ago. But I, along with so many people, were so upset that they were going to change the political structure of Israel in a way that just would deprive people of rights, that I had to speak up. And I felt a sense of solidarity and kinship with other Israelis who were fighting for those same values. But Israel remained a divided society. But now they're united in purpose. They viewed what happened on October 7th as an existential threat, and therefore they needed to respond as such. But there's a dichotomy, because in America, we understand that there is a rise in anti-Semitism, but we can't respond in the same way. It's not like we're all getting together as soldiers to fight anti-Semitism. And so there's this dichotomy now of feelings. And I'm not talking about whether we're united with Israel or not. We're all united behind Israel. I'm talking about how we feel in the diaspora, how we feel that now we have guards that make us feel secure as you enter into the synagogue. I'm talking about when we have a discussion in our security committee about guns and whether we should allow them in our sanctuary. I'm talking about the conversations that we have every single day with our fellow Jews about what's going on in Israel. And then we also turn to, oh, did you see what happened in Europe? And they almost, launched this attack that would have decimated a synagogue there. Or did you see what happened in this other state in America? And that's what's on our mind. And we're not sure what to do about it. And so we feel vulnerable. We need Hanukkah more than ever. We need that sense of Maccabees who said, we are a small band against the mighty, but we are going to fight anyways. But before that happened, the Jews were fighting each other, and we forget that part of the story. It was Jew against Jew. It was people who viewed themselves as so pious and religious against the Jews who were assimilated and enamored with Greek culture. They were at odds until the tipping point when the king said, you Jews aren't worshiping and you're not assimilating like us, and so we're taking over your temple and we're putting in our gods and we're messing things up for you. And that was the tipping point for the Jews in that society. I don't know. Maybe what happened in Israel is a tipping point for us as American Jews, for Jews who live in the diaspora everywhere. The cantor asked me, well, what are you going to talk about? And I said, well, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do my sermon on. And she chuckled. And it was partly true because I'm at a loss of words. The words that come easy are the words of Hanukkah. Be proud that you are Jewish. Wear your chai or your Star of David. Don't be afraid. Keep your mezuzah. Carry on. But then I have a parenthesis that says, as usual. And then there's a question mark. Because it's not the same. And we want it to be the same. And then I look on television like many of you, and we are seeing this, which should have been something so simple, where we have the heads of 3 major universities testifying before Congress. Right? Simple. Is genocide against the Jews, is that acceptable? Is that acceptable on campus? Can you have that? Is that against your code of conduct? And then they lawyered up. Well, what should I say? No, it depends on context. I don't know what context is there that genocide against the Jews is acceptable. I don't care whether you're liberal or whether you're conservative, you can kind of understand it, but I like to look at both sides. And then I'm listening to this testimony when time and time again they go, is this your final answer? And they kept going back to it. It kind of depends on context. They were defending a principle, I guess, of freedom of speech. But we all know that on college campuses there are times when speech is not so free, that they do step in and they say, we're not going to allow this on campus. And we do know that recently the Jewish kids have felt violated and isolated and attacked. And so for the Jews, this is not a discussion about freedom of speech. This is about freedom to be a Jew, to wear your chai, your Jewish star, to just go to school and have your latkes at Hillel. Is that too much to ask? And so you ask the head of Ivy League universities, is genocide against the Jew, is that acceptable? What is your answer? Well, it depends on context. No. When did we lose our way? You know, the job of every parent is to teach your child right from wrong. And there are nuances and there are grays. But sometimes you're going to tell your kids, that is not right. Don't do that. And that's what we were looking for. This is not acceptable, ever. And we didn't hear it. And that's why there was such an uproar among people of all sides. And you know what? Thank God there was an uproar. Because if there wasn't an uproar and there was a deafening silence, I would have felt even worse. Because we do have Maccabees who stand up for us. It's not like the 1940s or 30s where we didn't have a voice and we didn't have influence and we didn't have power and we didn't have allies. But it's still a time of great unease. Fareed Zakaria, I was watching his take on, I love to watch his take on Sundays morning, and he concluded, America's top universities should abandon their long misadventure into politics, retrain their gaze on their core strengths, and rebuild their reputations as centers of research and learning. Hello? That's it. That's it. I don't know why that mission would be so hard for a university to embrace. But apparently it is. And that's why I want Hanukkah to last a little bit longer. Because if we say, oh, it was such a nice holiday and we got our gifts and we lit our candles and we had our latkes, then we are taking this important lesson and we're putting it in our pocket and we're forgetting about it. We cannot let the light go out. We have to be that shamash. We have to be the person who continues to bring light into a dark world. We have to be the person who stands up and says, no, I'm proud to be a Jew. And there are some things in some places where it is not okay for me not to feel safe, not to be okay. So let the message of Hanukkah last longer. And hopefully when the lights burn out, the message will stay lit and we will be in a place that is so much better than where we are right now. Hanukkah, a minor holiday, but boy, oh boy, its message, my friends, so important for today. So important. Shabbat Shalom.
We turn now to page 586 for our Aleinu prayer, a prayer that reminds us it is upon us to change the world. Please rise. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך
Baruch Hu. Please be seated. If you're joining us on the live stream, please submit at this time names of people you are thinking of who are no longer with us, people who have recently left, people you are observing Shloshim for 30 days, Shana in the last year, or Yortzeit, it is the anniversary of death.
So we say Kaddish for my teacher and friend, Rabbi David Ellenson, Zoila Cornejo, Bill Mann, Mel Kenwood, Priscilla Kenwood, Phyllis Ruth Hoffman, Selma Lenevsky, Stephen Simon, Art Marshall, Doris Munich.
Jenny Aronoff, Michael Bernstein, Shirley Crystal, William Dartrick, Minnie Etkind, Adit Farkas, Scott Fisher, Kiva Goldfarb, Louis Gorlick, Louis Gottlieb, my grandmother Florence Gross, Sandy Heyman, Molly Kallick, Bernice Kaplan-Barr, Fanny Katz, Coleman Lehrman, Arthur Liebert, Vivian Klein-Markowitz, Joanne Moriello, Rose Miller, Dora Morningstar, Lawrence Mushkin, Louis Myers, Irving Naftalin, Betty Nathan, Walter Nathan, Adele Nathan, Sophia Palbaum, Herman Roberg, Dr. Samuel G. Rosenthal, Larry Rothman, Michelle Snodowski, Raymond Spector, Muriel Stevens, Sidney Tabak, Panina Ventura, Miriam Vogel.
If you'd like to say the name of a loved one that was not mentioned for Kaddish or Yortzeit, please stand to say their name.
Mary Best, Joshua Stam, Anita Tucci, Jackie Smith.
As we think of so many who have touched our hearts, we rise to recite Kaddish 598. Yit Kadal v'yit Kadash Shmei Rabbah v'yalma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayeda chol Beit Yisrael Bagalav Izman Karit V'Imru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mevorach Le'olam Omea Almaya. Yit Barach V'Yishtabach V'Yit Pa'ar V'Yit Ramah V'Yit Naseh V'Yit Tadar V'Yit Taleh V'Yit Talal Shmei Dekusha B'Richu Leila Min Kol Birchata V'Shrata Tush Bechata V'Nechmata Damiram B'Yalma V'Imru Amen. Yehi Shlomo Rabbah Min Shammai V'Chaim Aleinu V'Al Kol Yisrael V'Imru Amen. Oseh Shalom Bimramav, Hu Yaseh Shalom, Aleinu V'Al Kol Yisrael V'Imru Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, Amen. May be seated. All right, a reminder, tomorrow we have a bar mitzvah coming up, so bar mitzvah, come on, Caden, you get to come up again. Josh, you get to join your brother, moral support. Join the cantor.
A couple of
And,
religious school friends that want to come up and do Kiddush and Motzi, yes.
Go stand right over there. And then don't forget, tomorrow, Torah study, in addition to being on Zoom, is going to be in person in the boardroom led by the cantor, 8:45 a.m. So if you're coming to the bar mitzvah and you want to study a little Torah, go into the boardroom and study a little Torah.
We're going to be discussing family dynamics.
Oh, my God. All right. All right, if there's anyone ever who said, I've never gotten an honor in shul, I really want one, you get an honor tonight. You get to come up for the Kiddush and Motzi.
Yeah.
Anyone?
Big thank you to Eddie Birch
Nope.
on piano.
No one.
And our shamans.
They're all honored.
Dell and Leslie on staff tonight, and Lee on staff, and our security.
Yeah, go. Keep going.
I want to thank everyone for showing up tonight. I know there was a lot of competition with Paw Patrol down the street. Paw Patrol Live. And God blessed the Sabbath day and made it holy. Al kain berach Adonai et yom haShabbat vayikadshehu Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu All right, our closing song. There are 3 Hebrew words to sing this with us. Olam, Chesed, Yibaneh. I know I've been doing it a lot, but it's true. We must fill this world with love. It is the only answer to anything. So, Olam, Chesed, Yibaneh. Let's try it. And you must build this world from love. Yadalai, lai, lai, yadalai, lai. And if we build this world from love, yadalai, lai, lai, yadalai, lai, then God will build. Then God will build this world from love. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Please say hello to somebody you haven't seen in a while or maybe you've never seen before and show them how audaciously hospitable you are. Thank you. I think there's an oneg in the foyer, maybe. Is there an oneg out there, Del? I'm going to guess there is. Okay. If you see cookies, it's an oneg.